In America, 75% of Americans are overweight or obese. Less than 7% of our patients are metabolically healthy. The cost of healthcare dollars are going up. Globally, 13% of the global population is now clinically obese. 39% are overweight. 50% of the global population will be obese in the next 10 years. Worldwide obesity has nearly tripled since 1975. Obesity is the number one reason for chronic inflammation in the brain and the body. And neurodegenerative disease is on the rise because of obesity. Dr. Dane, what's wrong? What do we need to do?
Well, I think, the telling thing, Robert, is the largest percentage of increase in obesity, both BMI over 30, is in children. And that should tell us a lot. I remember lecturing when obesity rates were, and I'm talking about BMI over 30, I'm not talking about being overweight, but obesity
Right.
rates were in the low 20%, high teens.
Mhm.
Now we have close to 40% of the population is obese, not just overweight, but obese. And as I tell my patients, you're not going to see a lot of chronic disease. If your BMI is 27, and again, you and I talk a lot more about body composition than we do
Correct.
BMI. Body mass index is just a calculation that anybody can do, right? It doesn't really tell us anything about the composition of that weight or the, functionality of the composition of that weight. So it's, very small window, but it does tell us once that BMI gets over 30, most people aren't
Right.
Arnold Schwarzenegger and they're carrying too much muscle in their body, and I hear that, I'm sure you hear it a lot too as well. Can't your BMI be high because you have too much muscle on your body? But I always wonder
Yeah.
why people that are overweight are asking me that question. It's like, yes, you can. You can be Arnold Schwarzenegger, but you are not that person, you know? So,
Exactly.
I think that that's the telling thing is obviously in the world that we live in, ultra processed, sedentary, lots of stress. It's just an epidemic.